Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, friends. We got folks still coming in, so if you need a place to sit, please budge up, make space in the pews. Welcome here to UU Mount Airy. This is our annual Flower Communion service. I'm Reverend McKinley Sims. I use he, him pronouns, and I am so honored to be here with all of you today. Whether you're joining us here in our historic sanctuary or joining us from home, online, if you're watching on Zoom, or our Boxcast service, we welcome you into this space. It is good to be together on this first Sunday in June. If you are here in person, I would invite you to take a second to put your cell phone on Do Not Disturb. If you have anything that might make noise, we invite you to be present fully in this service. If it's your first time with us, we have restrooms at the rear of the sanctuary, down the stairs to your right, or the handicap accessible lift to your left. Downstairs is where we will have our annual meeting and a celebration after the service, and we invite you to stay for that if you are willing to do so. You can see we have a different setup than we usually have here in the sanctuary. This is our annual flower communion, a very old ritual in Unitarian and Universalist history, and we're going to partake in that today, and we'll tell the story a couple of different times. I'll tell the story to the kids and then remind you all if this is your first time with us. So folks have brought flowers here this morning, and if you do not bring a flower, that's all right. In the words of Reverend Sarah Schuer, some of you may be visiting for the first time today or did not know about today's flower communion. Though some have come without a flower, some have brought extra flowers. Everyone is welcome and everyone can partake of this special ritual. Through some miracle, similar to the story of the loaves and the fishes, there are always flowers left over at the end of flower communion. And that is the grace of a church community. All may come forward and all will be served. So we invite you to come up and get a flower when it is time during the service, and when there are flowers left over, if you would like to take some more home, please do so. Our kids are going to help bless these flowers here in the sanctuary after their story time this morning, and we're also going to be doing some child dedications today. So we got a lot happening. We'll hear from Linda Paula Johnson, we'll hear from Kathy McCoubry. So without further ado, let's settle in where we are. It's warm outside. Thankfully, the air conditioning is working here in the sanctuary. Settle into this space. Find yourself here inside this sanctuary. I invite you to take a big, easy breath with me this morning. Breathe in and out. And you congregations, we light a chalice to celebrate our coming together in love, to mark the sacredness of being together in community and invite Spirit into our lives. As our RE kids come up with Teacher Is to help light our chalice, I'm going to read the words. They're from the Reverend Ali Casey Bell in honor of the beginning of Pride Month and our RE families and the beauty of the flower communion. Hear these words as we light our chalice. This beautiful flower on this beautiful tree has been given many names. Nothing that we call it can take away from what it is. It is beautiful, natural, blooming. And so are you, beloved siblings. They may call us many names, but nothing can change who we are. Naturally occurring, beautiful, blooming. I am because you are. You are because I am. I love you, and I need you to survive. Our chalice is lit here in our sanctuary. Our opening hymn is number 396, I Know This Rose Will Open. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit here in the sanctuary. Find the words in the gray hymnal or on the screen behind me. Hymn number 396, I Know This Rose Will Open. Thank you. Part of our being community and living up to the mission of this congregation is building beloved community, by embracing all souls and nurturing wholeness. One of the ways that we do that is through the ritual of joys and sorrows. We have a basket of stones and a bowl of water up here. If you would like to come up by this side aisle, grab a stone and drop it into the bowl of water gently, we let that stone become whatever it needs to be. Joys, sorrows, hopes, dreams. Someone that we are thinking about, praying for, or sending good energy towards. If you are joining us online and you want to share your joys and sorrows in the Zoom chat, please do so, and we will drop stones into the bowl on your behalf. If you just want to sit in the pews and listen to some meditative music, please do so, and then we will gather together afterwards for our moment of reflection. Come, whoever you are, the table of joys and sorrows is open.
Hi, my name is Jane, and I have some good news to share. I'm finally moving into a senior apartments at the end of the month, and it's right Parkview, right in Elkins Park, right a corner, right next to where I'm living. So I've been approved, but they have to do verification. So I'm still acting as if I'm moving. So it's much bigger, the kitchen's bigger, the bathroom's bigger. So I feel like I'm going to be very happy there.
Hello, I'm Deb. Our daughter and son-in-law and grandson moved to Virginia a number of years ago, and kind of sort of looking around, and they decided to join a UU church in their neighborhood. So they just joined it a couple of weeks ago. It's a really big deal for them. So yeah, anyway, that's a joy. Thank you.
My name is Pat DeBrady, and I'm the oldest member of this church. I think I've been here nigh on to about 66 years. Anybody here that old? I dropped my stone in the hope that people in this country particularly discover truth and know it when they discover it.
Good morning. I'm Holly Job and haven't been here for a while. I've had a few struggles with my foot, and I have to say that I think I've turned a corner on that. So I'm very grateful. I'm also grateful that McKinley came to visit me this week, and that was a real uplift, you know. And so thank you. I'm grateful for that as well.
Good morning. My name is Anam Awili Iger. I'll share a joy. I'm very happy that my two older daughters, Coraline and Valentina, they are going to be doing a very special performance today. They've been studying vocal arts, and Valentina's been studying musical theater, and I'm just so proud of them. I have a bunch of sorrows and concerns and big feelings, but I'm choosing to move forward in joy, peace, light, and love.
So I have a joy and sorrow. My joy is that, and my name is Rebecca, and my joy was that yesterday my best friend Lucy had her birthday party and she just turned 7. And my sorrow is that my mom on Parker, she, a couple weeks ago, she fell and broke her hip, and I'm very sorry for that.
Good morning. My name is Portia, and I'm grateful for lots of things. Last night, Bruce and Linda rocked. They did the Folk Factory, and it was incredible. Really, really, thank you all for doing that. I'm grateful for, I think I've been depressed and didn't know it, but it lifted, and I think that was true because I'm more interested in a lot of things than I was recently. So just want to put that out. And kudos to my brother, Gary Sovolo.
I'm Beth, and yesterday and the day before I saw my son and his partner who are getting married. And also I saw Hamilton yesterday.
I'm Tim, and last week I wasn't here. I was on a way back. I took a flight from Boston. I was up at UUA headquarters for 4 days. I worked with a consulting team of UUs across the country, working on anti-oppression and DE&I stuff with the administration and the board. One of the things that became real clear to me, it was always clear, but became even clearer, is how important Unitarian Universalism is, and how important it is to our country. How dare Pete Hegseth and the Department of Defense declare that we're not a legitimate religion? The other thing was clear on the way back. I was hoping I'd get back in time, to be with Francis and his mom and all you all, but I thought about and have been talking to people how special we are here.
Bernadette, I too am feeling grateful, particularly for the beauty in nature that reminds us that we're all supported. And I had the gift of eating lunch with a friend of mine up in East Stroudsburg, and a bald eagle just entertained us the entire lunch.
Good morning. My name is Melvin. This is my second time here, and as a visitor, I'm just so grateful for all of you who welcomed me here. Thank you.
My name's David Tattenhorst, and I am celebrating Kathy McCubry today. We celebrated last weekend 32 years since we took vows to each other in Bartram Garden. And our son tomorrow is taking an exam for a new job.
I'm Sharon. I definitely want to say thank you to Tim, because I can't tell you how dismayed I am about Pete Hegseth and his decisions about what's a religion and what's not a religion.
My name is Bruce, and I just wanted to thank Portia for coming last night. It was an amazing concert. 5 people that no one had ever heard of, maybe a couple had heard of Jamie because of other circles, all did phenomenal jobs. There was a good 50, 60 people here. Just a wonderful evening, and it was fantastic.
We had a few final stones for those joys and sorrows shared online and for those not shared out loud. With special intention this morning from David Devan and David Doubledam, and for the entire queer community of Philadelphia. If you do not know about Dido van Rijgersberg, one of the co-founders of Pig Iron Theater and a real champion for LGBTQ people here in Philadelphia, passed away this week on the first day of Pride Month. And David Devan and David Doubledam were there, and I just want to share this quote from Devan, who said, "It was the first day of Pride Month, and our greatest queer Philadelphian died. In a moment when so many queer folks are being attacked by our government, to have so much love by the city given to this beautifully queer, unapologetic, celebratory queer artist is giving me joy today." So we drop a stone into the bowl and take a moment to honor Dito Van Rigersberg and all those that we have lost. Would you be with me in a moment of stillness and silence? Blessed be. Thank you. All right, I want to invite our families who are doing child dedications forward and invite you up here. I'll grab my microphone and my flower. If you're new with us, we have the opportunity to do child dedications really anytime. We usually do them in June. I don't know why, maybe just because I thought that was appropriate. But we're actually going to do some for the next 2 weeks, so not everyone can be here on every day. So we're going to welcome Dottie and Addie up here. Thank you. I'm going to get my stuff ready. Matt, are you going to come help? You can come help. Come on. Hey, we're going to help bless Dottie and Addie here. Okay, so this is how it works. First, we're going to introduce you to everyone here, and then I'm going to take this flower, I'm going to put it in a little bit of water, and then I'm going to boop you on your nose and your eyes, and we're going to say a blessing for you. Is that okay? All right. All right. So, Mom, Dad, who wants to go first? Who are we doing first? All right. So, what is the name of this child? Dorothy. Dorothy, we bless your mind that you might know good and evil. I'm sorry. We bless your eyes that you might see the truth and what it means to you. We bless your hands that they might do good works of service. We bless your lips that you might always speak words of love. And finally, we bless your heart that it might lead you on right paths to be a blessing for the world. Dorothy, you are already blessed, and we are so glad to bless you again. Amen. What is this child's name? Adeline. Try not to get you as wet. We bless your mind that you might know the difference between good and evil. We bless your eyes that you might see truth and what it means to you. We bless your lips that you might speak words of love into the world. We bless your hands that you might do the work of justice. And finally, we bless your heart that it might lead you on right paths now and in all the days to come. You are already blessed, Adeline, and we are so glad to bless you again today. Amen. Congregation, this is Dorothy and Adeline. Will you join me in blessing them with a round of applause as we welcome them into our community? Thank you, Mom and Dad. Good job. Good job, team. All right, kiddos, so we're actually going to have our choir come up and sing the second part of the blessing for the whole congregation. So I invite you back over to your space, and then we'll come do flowers in a minute as we invite our choir forward. Sorry, Francis. choir. Okay, now I need my kids to come on back out. Come on down, come on down. You can sit anywhere around the tables here. We are going to hear the story of Flower Communion, and you're going to help me bless these flowers that everyone has brought. A long time ago, in the city of Prague, in the land of Czechoslovakia, it was the year 1923, and there was a church. It didn't look much like a church, but it had 4 walls and a ceiling, and some wooden chairs for people to sit on. It didn't have an organ or a piano like we have. It didn't have carvings or stained glass windows. But it had all the important things. It had the people who came to it every day, so every week. And it had a minister, kind of like me. His name was Norbert Čapek, Reverend Čapek. Can you say Čapek? Čapek. And he had been the minister at this plain and simple church for 2 years. Hi. And every Sunday when Minister Čapek spoke, the people would sit and they would listen really quietly and intently, hanging on every word in those really hard wooden chairs. And then when he was done, thank you, the people talked a little amongst themselves, and then they would go home. You see? There was no food, there were no candles, there were no donuts. But springtime came to Prague, and Reverend Čapek went out for a stroll. And as the rains came, the birds were singing, and the flowers had started to grow. He saw the buds on the branches and the blooms on the flowers. And an idea came to him. Simple and clear, like the ringing of a bell. Thank you, Griffin. So the next Sunday, he asked all of his people to go and pick a wild flower or a flower from their garden, 1 or 2, and to bring it to church the next Sunday. You choose, he said. Each of you choose what you like. And so the next Sunday, the first day of summer, the people came with the flowers of all different colors and sizes, yellows and reds and purples and whites, asters and pansies and light green leaves and dark green leaves, purple and orange and gold. And the flowers filled the vases, and the church wasn't so plain and simple anymore. Because now inside were the flowers. And that was all they needed. Reverend Čapek spoke to the people, and they listened, hanging on his every word in those hard wooden chairs, and he said, "These flowers are like us. These flowers are like us. They're different colors and different shapes and different sizes. They each need different kinds of care, but each is beautiful and important and special in their own way." And when he was done speaking, the people talked amongst themselves with a different kind of energy and love. Careful, please. And on that beautiful, plain, simple day, the Flower Communion was born. So that's what we're going to do today. We are going to help bless these flowers that everyone has brought, because these flowers are like us. Do you see a flower that looks like you? So here's what I need. In honor of Reverend Čapek in that small, plain church, I need you to stand around the tables, but we're not going to touch the flowers quite yet. And we're going to say words from Dr. Čapek's original blessing of the flowers. So here's how we bless the flowers. We stand around the flowers. Yeah. We stand around the flowers, and then you need to hold a hand up like this. And we're going to imagine all the love that's in our heart flowing out into these flowers so that when people take them home, they can feel the love. And then I'm going to read some words, and when it's your turn, I'm going to ask you to say, "We bless these flowers." Can we say that together? We bless these flowers. All right, hands ready? Friends in the congregation, you can do this too. Hands ready? These are the words. In the name of providence, which implants in the heart the seed, the future of flowers, which implants in our hearts an unrest which will not be quenched till people live longingly with each other, we say, we bless these flowers. In the name of the highest in which we move and take our being, in the name of the deepest which makes father and mother, sister and brother, sibling and lover and loner who they are, we say, we bless these flowers. In the name of the prophets and sages who sacrificed to hasten the coming of the reign of mutual love and respect, we say, we bless these flowers. Let us sincerely renew our resolution to be siblings, regardless of the barriers which estrange. May these flowers be for us the sign of the glory and variety to which we aspire, knowing that we are one family, the family of spirit and nature. In the name of all that is holy, we say, we bless these flowers. Good job. Good job. Can we have a round of applause for our flower blessers? Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to invite everyone else to come do the flower communion. If you guys want to go first, here's what you do. You find a flower that calls to you, that reminds you of you, and you take the one flower with you. Thank you. You might need a little help getting it out of the vase. That's okay. So find one you like. And then you're going to take it back over to the family section. Good job. In a moment, we're going to invite everyone else. If you would like to come up and get a flower, you can come up by the center aisle. If you brought some flowers, please take a different one than the one you brought in. And then you can take it back with you. Great. Perfect. All right, can you take it back over to your seat? This is a ritual that's now more than 100 years old. It was brought to the United States in 1940 by Dr. Chopek's wife. And we are honored to bring it once more into this space. Come, whoever you are. Beloveds, as these flowers represent each person gathered here this morning, a symbol of what each of us gives to our wider community and can take from each other when we need. The symbol of our mutuality, and receiving as part of being shared community. We're going to complete this ritual by offering the words from the original flower blessing. Share to your screen. Would you read these words with me? In this holy resolve, may we be strengthened by the spirit of love, that we ourselves may bloom in splendor and joyful life, endeavor to be evermore whole. Thank you, beloveds. This is the time in our service when we pass a plate to take up our offering here in the sanctuary. Friends who are online, you can follow the instructions that will be shared to your screen about how you can give back. We have, if this is your first time with us, there's no expectation that you give anything to the plate that's being passed around, except if you are willing to fill out the contact cards that are in your pews. They're multicolored. If you have a white envelope in your pews, you can also take that and mark it change for change. And the way that we do the offering goes to two places here at UU Mount Airy. Anything you put into those white envelopes and mark change for change, and any pocket change that you put into the plate goes towards a different social justice organization each month. For this month of June, it is Salvage Compost. That's easy for me to say. And we have Anthony from Salvage Compost, who's going to be here to talk just a little bit about the organization and then stay downstairs afterwards. So anything that you put into the white envelopes and the pocket change is going to go towards the organization that you are about to hear from right now. Anthony, I invite you forward, please.
I'll hold it. Thank you. Thanks for having me here. It's been a lovely service. I'm glad to spend this Sunday with you guys. I was raised Baptist, so I'm trying my best not to talk very long. Salvage Compost, I'm the founder, I'm the director. I actually came up with Salvage because 100 million tons of waste goes to the landfill every year. That's a lot of waste and organics, things that don't naturally should be going to the landfill, end up in our landfill, which is changing our environment for the worse. Most low-income neighborhoods, most black and brown neighborhoods are actually located within 10 miles of most landfills and incinerators that can be linked to cancer, asthma, and the list goes on. So I started Salvage Compost to be able to change that for my community, the community that I grew up in. I grew up with a bunch of farmers. I grew up with a bunch of cowboys. So we like to get in the dirt, play in the dirt, and I figured I could change something with that. So that's what Salvage Compost is a spinoff of, is to help our communities mitigate waste that's going to the landfill, that's going to our landfills, that's near our communities, so we can be able to make that into soil, and we can be able to turn that and send that back to farmers so we can grow food within our neighborhood and be able to help with food sovereignty and be able to help with the people in our community that need food the most. And that's what Salvage Compost is all about. That's what my life work has been about so far in my very young life, is that I've actually been trying to help my community by helping farmers grow more food and provide for the people in my neighborhood that need it the most. We should not be sending all the food that could be going to somebody or it could be turned into soil to the landfill to die there and to help people in our neighborhoods be affected in a negative way. We can do better. We can be better land stewards. We can be better community members to the people that are the lowest among us and need the most help. And this is how we help them in other ways, by helping, by changing, make sure their environment's better, making sure their soil's better, making sure there's trees in our neighborhood, making sure the atmosphere around them is breathable. Our kids don't have to breathe pollution and toxins. Our elders don't have to breathe toxins. So that's what Salvage Compost is about. Thank you for letting me come share this with you today. And please, anything you can do to support, but also support your neighborhood, even when you're not here.
Thank you, Anthony James. So Anthony and his wife Danielle are going to stick around and be available for any questions they have afterwards. I invite you to give generously as you are willing and able, knowing there are lots of ways to give back. The giving of money is just one, and that's what we're going to do now. The offering will now be given and gratefully received.
So I'm going to sing a song that has meant a lot to me, specifically in times when I was a little bit more going through some stuff. Back in 2020, I went through a divorce of somebody that I've been with for about 10 years, and this is a song that brought me through that and helped me make sense of some of the things I was going through. And the reason I brought it today is because it specifically talks about using brokenness and allowing that to grow you into more openness and more love, and uses the metaphor of building a garden. And I'm extremely grateful to be a part of a place where I've seen people, as they grow, become more open. So it says, will we stay open? And I'm happy to say the answer has been yes, and it's an encouragement to continue for that to be the answer. So I hope you enjoy. Miles and miles and tons of the ocean, tarmac and teenage years. Life, it just happens, these roads and these lessons, always from things I feared. When I was young, I cared for no one. I had my fun, but I was broken. Piece by piece, stone by stone, what is beneath is above and below. Where is my home? Where is my garden? When I'm alone, I am surrounded. Love with condition, a family tradition, don't make it right or wrong. Now for the reverse of pain that you endured, you are the strongest one. When you were young, life was a struggle. No one would come to ease the trouble. Piece by piece, stone by stone, what is beneath is above and below. We'll build a home, we'll grow a garden. When we get old, will we stay open? Open, open, will we stay open? You are my home, you are my garden. When we get old, we will stay open, open, open. We will stay open. You are my home, you are my garden. When we get old, we will stay open, open, open. We will stay open.
Thank you, Nate. Invite Linda Paula Johnson forward to share a small reflection.
Hello? Good. All right. Hi. My name is Linda Pollock Johnson. I've been a member here since 1990, and I am a lifelong UU, having grown up at the Unitarian Society of Germantown on Lincoln Drive in the 1960s. I attended Homestead Hippie Camp in the 1970s and attended a small UU fellowship in Oberlin, Ohio during the 1980s. Throughout all that time, I have been attending UU summer conferences at Star Island, but that is perhaps a topic for another day. When my husband Bruce and I moved from Ohio back to Philadelphia in 1990, we were very intentional about buying a house here in Mount Airy, and we were pleased that we found one within walking distance of this congregation. We felt welcome here right away and got involved in activities and started to make friends very quickly. It is to see the people that I come to events here. I could list a lot of other reasons for coming: the music, the food, inspirational words of wisdom, etc. But the core reason is to be with all of you people. So now I want to make a shift in focus and draw your attention to this building. Today I want to show you 2 photographs. So you can put up, there's one. And we'll take a trip back in time to when this building was built. This church building dates back to 1937, when the congregation moved here from Northern Liberties. When it was first built, it consisted of just this sanctuary and the fellowship hall downstairs. And if you want to see a photo of that, there is a black and white photo of just this part. In a photo in the hallway leading toward the addition. It's on the wall outside the secretary's office. So then the cornerstone of that addition, that's called Hale Hall, which houses Hale Lounge, the duo room, and all the meeting rooms upstairs. The cornerstone shows the date 1953. So now that you've had a chance to study this photo a little bit, how many of you have noticed this? What is that? It's a sundial. It's a sundial. Can you point from within this space? Can you point to where the sundial is? Yes. So some people are pointing over here. This transept goes up and has a point up there, and outside there's a sundial. So I don't know if you can see the numbers here, but on this side they start with the number 7, and it goes 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 1. And actually, on this day in December, the shadow was way past the 1, but I took the photo at 12:30. So I've never seen the shadow pointing to the correct time. But I've often, you think somebody had an intention to put that there for a reason, and my speculation is that they did the span of hours that were most likely to be when a service might happen between 7 a.m. and 1 p.m., and that maybe it helped people come on time. I don't know. I don't know. So, but what they didn't think through completely is that at the time there was this little itty bitty tree out there that you'll see in the photograph, and that itty bitty tree is now this enormous tree that creates a lot of shade, and most of the time that sundial is in the shade and does not cast a shadow. So here, then let's move to the next photo. Okay, there's another photo from the outside of this building. you see a door, right? Can anyone point to where the door is on the inside? Okay, Kathy and Annabelle are pointing. It is in this closet. That door is right here. But it's covered now with shelving and storage. This is a storage closet for flowers and vases and stuff. But I was told this little space used to be the minister's office. Just that little space there. It's more like a cell. So maybe we had a monk-like minister at first. So, but it must have sufficed for the 16 years until they added the 2 offices through that other side. Do you see any other details in this photo that you would like to share with us? Anyone want to, like, this thing? What is that? It's a boot scraper. It's a boot scraper. Why would you put a boot scraper there? That means they expected people to come in that door, but clean off their boots first, right? That was like a major entryway to, I guess, have a visit with the minister. And then what about that little black thing there? What's that? I heard a mail slot. Yeah, that's a mail slot. And you know what? There was no mail slot in the main church door. That's a big solid chunk of wood there. So that mail slot was like the main thoroughfare for all missives to the congregation. The letter carrier congregants would deliver all kinds of important communications through that little slot. They didn't have faxes and answering machines or email back then, so everything like items for the newsletter, pledge payments, announcements of births, marriages, and deaths, requests for pastoral care, all came through that little slot. It's interesting to think about what our community might have been like back then, and to recognize how much this community how much has changed in this building since 1937. Looking back on just my 36 years here, I remember when the Restoration Nursery School paid a modest rent to use much of the space of Hale Hall. The upstairs rooms of Hale Hall were blocked off and locked by a floor-to-ceiling metal gate. They also used one of the ground floor rooms of Hale Hall during the weekdays, and then we used it for our youth program on Sundays for Sunday school classes. So since we shared that space, it was dubbed the duo room, and that's why we still call it the duo room today, even though it's kind of a trio room now. But anyway. I remember when the accessibility ramp was installed on the front lawn, and when the electric lift was built in the front lobby area. The bathrooms in Hale Hall have all been upgraded and made more accessible. The kitchen downstairs in Fellowship Hall has had a facelift. The Garth, G-A-R-T-H, that's the outdoor space tucked between this sanctuary and Hale Hall. That was completely overgrown when I first came, and now it's a lovely memorial garden. A mural was added to the Hale staircase moving downstairs, and a mosaic was added to the upstairs hallway. So many improvements have been made to this building. I have begun to realize how attached I am to this building. When we lived in Oberlin, Ohio, our very small Unitarian Fellowship met in rented space owned by the Grange. I did not feel any sense of belonging to that space, but here I think of the building as an extension to my own home. if I leave something here by mistake, I can be pretty confident that it will still be here when I come back for it. It's a relatively small building, and yet it accommodates so many different groups engaged in a wide variety of activities. So now I circle back to the people and take a final moment to thank all of you. I'm going to pause for a moment. I am not here in any capacity as the stewardship committee or fundraising or anything. I am here as myself to thank you for pledging your financial support in the recent pledge drive, and the wise and generous stewards, all the folks who have cared for this building for the almost 90 years of its existence. I hope and dream that it will serve our needs as a congregation for at least another 90 years. Thank you.
So today is a day of recognition and gratitude. So we're going to invite you to just stay seated. We invite Kathy McCruger to come forward and get ready to speak. And we're going to sing a hymn of thanks for the people here, for this building, for all the joys that we have shared. And this year and in all the years that this building has been here. These are words from our Teal hymnal, number 1010, Oh, We Give Thanks. We'll sing 2 verses.
You are my home. You are my garden. I'm so grateful to this community to let me continue growing roots and wings. This is the occasion of the end of my term as moderator, and I wanted to share a reflection on what's love got to do with it. Unitarian Universalists have been talking about putting love in the center. And Tina Turner and I want to know, what's love got to do with it? Now, I don't think it's a secondhand emotion, but this question has been a lifelong mystery to me, as elusive as figuring out what people mean by God. I do not feel held by a universal love. And I think that unconditional love is as aspirational as beloved community, ideals to strive toward. I can only marvel at existence, and only for the seconds it takes before the vastness becomes imperceptible and overwhelming. I can live with old-fashioned truth and beauty, and the miracle of human beings that can feel each other's joy and pain. But the notion of love has been a shapeshifter through the years, not always recognizable in myself or others. And lately, I've become aware of how fickle I can be, capable of great depth of feeling and connection in one instance, and cool and cut off in another, with too little awareness in the moment. I can be as startled by a momentary blank indifference as by a sudden piercing of the heart. My love does not ebb and flow like a romantic poem. Consciousness of my own loving feelings and of feeling loved can be unpredictable, which is hard on relationships. So what would my life look like if I put love at the center, without parsing all its distinctions or living like a saint? Loving is hard work, any way you look at it. But I'm more interested in getting out of my own way and more open to new ways of practicing it now. I'm remembering the experiences that informed my sense of what love is and is not. And I'm wondering about my ancestors' experiences. Like most of us, I was born into the hushed, intergenerational grief of unmourned losses. Ancestors as close as the last century who were lost to childbirth, war, disease, drowning, hanging, all weaving through my family like untold stories begging to be heard. And I'm recalling the visceral experiences of all kinds of love, watching my mother's lips as she read aloud, my father stroking my hair, my cat curled up in the crook of my knees, sharing the couch with my brother and sister, swinging under the blooming wild cherry, playing with my best friend, all the caring and encouragement of teachers and mentors. I was so blessed, and sometimes I wasn't. I thought that when you slept with someone, that meant that you lived together. That didn't work out so well. Looking back, the first time that I put love at the center of my life was choosing to stick with my father through his ordeal with alcoholism, particularly through years of rehabs when he had no one else. While my mother was supportive of my post-college explorations, she had become a single working parent of 2 school-aged children, and she expected me to be fine without her. Ultimately, my heroic father maintained his sobriety for the last 26 years of his life. And the gifts and injuries of this period were deeply formative. And I think my changeable emotional availability comes from that contrast between the early intimacy I had with Mom and Dad and the later ruptures, distortions, and absences, which my body still harbors. And why am I sharing all this? Because putting love at the center is not just an abstraction. Maybe it means bringing all of yourself and your history and your ancestors and the good, the bad, and the ugly into the circle. For me, it is about embracing my own flawed humanity. It's realizing that radical hospitality includes me too. It's not just for others. There are no others. It's just us. And isn't that what love is? Isn't that when we simply do what we can for each other, for our neighbors, for life on our planet? I feel freer to use my privileges and resources to do the right thing. When I've remembered to center love and hold on to our values of justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity, their common sense has helped to clarify issues and ground me in our faith during my term as moderator. Together, we have been learning to lean into our covenants, which we can develop further. And I find the combination of our values and our covenants especially powerful in moving us toward enacting our faith in the wider community as well. This has been both a highly challenging and rewarding period in the life of our congregation as we have worked to emerge from the pandemic and the loss of so many of our members. We are thrilled to see the growth in our membership, our programs, our community relationships, and our congregational generosity. The biggest surprise that came to me as moderator was the discovery of how deeply faithful I am. I would not have learned this about myself without the opportunity and support to lead and grow in service to this community and our mission. Coming together to worship, to garden, to keep vigil, to feed our neighbors, to ring the bell, to tell stories, to sing, to eat together, to protest, to organize, to pray, to celebrate, to bless, to laugh and cry and breathe together. Feels like love. Thank you.
So we're going to have some more time to say thank you to Kathy and give her a little token of our appreciation at the end of the annual meeting today that we're going to have right downstairs afterwards. So we want to go ahead and get to that. Can we do one more round of applause for all of our speakers, for our kids, for our guests, for our musicians? Flower Communion is one of my favorite days, and this is why. So we are going to end our service up here. We're going to sing one more hymn, extinguish our chalice, and then invite folks who want to come downstairs where they're getting coffee hour set up, and we have some goodies and some cold treats for us to enjoy as well. So we're going to extinguish our chalice here in the sanctuary with the words from Reverend Elizabeth Sell Jones. I invite you to read them with me. We extinguish this flame. I'll get that later. And would you rise in body or in spirit to sing our closing hymn, number 163, For the Earth Forever Turning. The words are in the gray hymnal or on the screen behind me. Amen. Hear these words of benediction. Like these flowers, we are blessed with the ability to flourish and bloom and grow. And like these flowers, we often grow better when we are together in our beauty and diversity and creativity. May we take this beauty and joy out into the world in honor of all that we are and all that we might become. May it be so. Amen. Have a wonderful week, friends. We'll see you downstairs for annual meeting.